What is going on, Internet? Eric Bandholz here with three of my favorite friends spread across the world. We've got a special quarantine edition of Beardbrand Alliance. Today, we are going to really kind of talk about how we're dealing with the quarantine, overcoming our challenges, and maybe share some advice for you guys. Go ahead, guys. Say your hellos.
What's up, amigos?
Hey, guys.
That reminds me of when I was on Shark Tank. All the sharks asked a question at the exact same time, and I didn't know what to do. So, Greg, what is your life looking like? Has it gotten back to normal yet?
There's aspects of my life that are slowly getting back to normal. Philadelphia has been pretty conservative in terms of letting up. We're not even green yet. We were red, yellow, and green. Certain things have opened up, but most of those things are in the suburbs, and they've opened up. So I'm back at the gym in the past 2 weeks, which has been great. I work in New Jersey. They're opened up, but we're half-time at the office. But Philadelphia actually has recommended today that people not go into the office. So they are actually dialing even back. So my life is kind of all over the place. I'm working mostly, I think, from home, probably 3 of 5 days. And the gym is probably the only thing that's normal. But other than that, it's not normal. There's no dining out, can't go to church. Shopping is limited unless you go to the Home Depot, where everyone is at the Home Depot.
Yeah. Carlos, what's the UK like?
Things are slightly getting back to the new normal, if you know what I mean. Like, shops are opening now. I had my first haircut yesterday since beginning of March. Visited family over the weekend again, since I haven't seen them since February, so I can pick up my daughter S from today as well, which is great. It's been getting back to normal, sports also starting to kick on. My teammates are starting training. I'm not allowed because I've got a sprained ankle, but life is getting back to normal. I kind of adjusted to this normal way of life, if that makes sense. Shopping, you have to wear a mask, I wear a mask, it's just the new way of life. That's how I see it anyway. Now, if you ask me how it was at the beginning of this, then things were way different.
I still think we're where you are. That's the problem with Philadelphia, is that we're still not even near, shopping is very limited and dining is only outdoor. So we're still, I think, behind where you are, Carlos, which I think is making it seems very prolonged at 4 months.
Yeah, I think Ben, Germany's kind of had the best case scenario, right? You guys are pretty much back to quote unquote normal, right? Or
Yeah, just about. I mean, stores opened a while ago. You just have to wear your mask when you're walking around the store. There's several restaurants that are open. They kind of keep the distance between the tables, but once you're sitting down in your seat, you can take off your mask. Bars just opened within the past couple weeks, but everything's pretty much back to normal. The other thing too is just the gathering size. During the quarantine early stages, it was only maybe 2 households, I think, was the rule, could get together, and groups no more than 5 people. But you were allowed to go outside and exercise and go for walks and ride your bike and do that sort of thing. But everything here is just about back to normal. Just no concerts or festivals and that sort of thing, which is way different because usually in the summertime there are tons of festivals here in Germany, one almost every week. So that's really the only difference, I'd say.
has anyone dealt with any kind of depression or bummer of a mood or challenges with that?
Yeah, man, I definitely did. I went through a really rough time, and then especially also got really ill, and through that time I had a stomach ulcer, and that got me really down, man. And in all honesty,
I don't know why, but I got to the stage I was like, what's the point? What am I doing here, kind of thing, and I just wanted to disappear. I was arguing with my wife for no reason. I see that now. I didn't back then. It was really affecting my marriage. To be honest, I was getting a bit weird. I was definitely very weird, and actually talking to someone that was kind of going through the same thing. That's what helped a friend of mine. And then I managed to get hold of a counselor as well and got some counseling going again. So that's how I cope. But it was really like, I've got a beautiful life, man. My wife, we got an amazing life, great job and stuff. So I don't know why I got so down like that. But I'm working on it, and at the moment I'm feeling great, but definitely a struggle. Not just with that, not having social life, not being able to, I want to go and see a friend now. I think that had a big impact in me, because if you're feeling down, you just want to go and see someone and talk, right? And not having that definitely affected me, man.
Yeah, Greg, we've talked a lot about dealing with this over the past few months. Have you ever bummed out? You're always such a positive person whenever I talk to you.
Something struck me the other day. I don't tendency to not be depressed. I feel blue or whatever. But it was actually watching a Beardbrand video when I saw a barber not only wearing a shield and a face mask and gloves. It just struck me as this is weird, and the new normal is just this lack of contact with people. Is what I find most striking. I don't need to be in contact with a lot of people, but I actually miss face-to-face contact. I miss interactions, even casual interactions with people walking down the street. I miss smiling at people because you're behind this mask. And so I really believe that we were designed to be in relationship with each other, from either a spouse or a partner to your children, but also in a greater community. And all of that relationship until kind of putting the gym back in and going back into the work in the past 2 weeks was removed. So I've felt just sad, not depressed, this too will pass kind of mentality. But I realize that I say that I'm a misanthrope and I don't like people, but really I like people. And I miss being in a relationship, even in a casual way. Even to exchange a smile with someone is something that I've missed.
Yeah, I personally struggled. Of course, I had the baby right when the lockdowns were starting, March 28th. And so for a month there, it was just kind of, I was in baby mode, trying to get used to a new family member. And that would have been the same whether or not we were in lockdown. We pretty much would have been in the house the whole time anyways. And what happened is once things started kicking back up, I really quit exercising. I didn't have access to my boathouse anymore. That got closed. All the rowing machines got picked up by other team members, so I didn't have a rowing machine. And then fortunately I was able to, one of my friends lent me a rowing machine, so I was able to get exercising again. And then for me, I wouldn't call it depression. I don't think depression is the right word, but like a bummer of a mood for an extended period of time. I went on the water. They opened back up in a single, and I rowed for the first time in a while. And just the whole process of wearing masks and social distancing, it like completely changed the sport for me. It was no longer an outlet for me to hang out with my friends and exchange high fives and row together and, laugh and joke around and then have coffee afterwards. It was just this very like surgical kind of environment. And it was right at that moment that I really kind of like fell into this pit, and I just kind of felt sorry for myself about my two favorite hobbies were taken away from me, which is rowing and traveling. And I haven't been able to do any of those since really early March. And it's definitely been a challenging time for me. Now, Ben, have you struggled as well, or you guys you're pretty stoic?
Yeah, not no. I would say I didn't struggle.
He's just like, you guys got issues, all you civilian guys can't handle anything.
He's still in army mode.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think when this whole thing happened, I kind of just, you kind of wonder, just going back in history, all the things that our, civilization has experienced, the world wars and other events to that magnitude. You always kind of wonder, what it would be like and how would you would react. And now we're finally hit with that right now, and I was curious to see, how I would react to something like this. But I'm good if I'm around people. I'm good if I'm by myself. So I kind of saw this as an opportunity, as more so as an opportunity to improve myself and work on things that otherwise would have been taken up with other time, devoted to other activities. So I really saw it as an opportunity to learn more. I got a lot accomplished during that time. Things that I did miss, I'd say just more so, like some of you have already mentioned, was the social aspect. Because I do like going to restaurants and hanging out with big groups of people. So that was one thing I did miss a little bit. And then just the workout piece, but I'm usually used to working out without equipment, so that was fine. But no, I don't really think it affected me too much.
Ben, you took, like what you said, you took time to learn, which I've been doing lately. But man, I struggled in the beginning, middle of this, with self-discipline a lot. And by that, I mean exercise. I got pretty lazy, and then obviously I got an excuse, a sprained ankle, I got the stomach, so another excuse. So I was just building on the back of these excuses and not exercising and eating. I've put so much weight on. I'm 89 kilos right now. 89 kilos is a lot.
What is that in freedom units?
I have no idea.
I've struggled the same way with, initially gung-ho about working out at home. We have a gym set up and it's been fine. And then I just totally lost it and didn't work out for 4 weeks in a row. Even though there's free weights and equipment down there, I just what is the point? Just because it wasn't my regular routine. So I'm just wondering, you guys, what has actually brought a bright spot? Do you see any bright spot in this?
For me, Greg, I think you and I are more similar. I struggled with it too. I used to think I was a really flexible person, that I could adapt to anything. And this whole lockdown thing kind of proved to me that if I'm not in control of the situation, that it is really challenging. If I was in control, I can handle any kind of change, but it's just when I lose that control. For me, I was in that bummer of a space for a good week or 2 weeks. And it wasn't until I started building out my home garage. If you followed me on Instagram, you saw my stories where I essentially put in new flooring and mats, and I bought a squat rack from Fringe Sport, and have been building that over the past week. And it's kind of given me a new energy. My goal is hopefully to find one other person to lift with, so that I can have that small social thing within a small bubble, but not have all the kind of annoyances that come with going to the gym now, with double wipe downs, everything, and social distancing and things like that. But having kind of a new goal for me has been what's helped got me out of the funk.
Yeah, I start seeing a counselor, so we speak once a week via Zoom as well, and yeah, that's been helping me a great deal. But saying about building stuff, man, I did so much DIY. That's what also got me through the bad patches, was doing DIY here. I built 2 gates. I returfed the whole garden. I never done this sort of stuff before in my life. Returfed the whole garden, build a deck in. Can't even remember. We did all sorts here. And been doing a lot more gardening. So yeah, that definitely helped me get through those bad patches, get distracted, do something. There's a reward at the end. Is like, oh, I built this, man. I've never done that before. That's awesome. I'm actually able to do these. So that's good. I felt good about that sort of stuff. I think that's important. You do something that you feel good about in the end.
The thing that's gotten us through here, immediately when this was happening, and our office was very proactive. They had a plan way before March started that if something happened, and so they were ready to go initially. And so when it hit, we were already set up in our offices, but we basically called our kids and said, you got to come home. And they're in Ohio and at school in Arizona, and they came home within 2 days. And having our entire family together through this was the bright spot, and still continues to be a bright spot, having at least one of our Ava's home with us now. But we've had family dinners, family walks. Initially worked out with Victor, and it's been great actually to have our family home watching movies together, just doing all the stuff that we haven't done as a family in a year and a half since they went off to school, and they do different things in the summertime. So if there's any silver lining for me through any of this, and I wouldn't wish this again ever, but it would be the opportunity that it's brought our tight family tighter.
Ben, what about you? I mean, you used to travel the world. Is that something you're really missing?
I do miss traveling. Yeah, that'd probably be the one thing that I do miss the most. And even as things are kind of opening up right now, I'm still a little cautious as to just jump right back in and go traveling again, just because there's still some uncertainty out there. And I hate to go somewhere and get stuck, or come back here and be stuck in the house. So, yeah, but that is one thing that I do really miss. But yeah, like I said, the bright spot for me is just the extra time. I mean, that I got to pursue some of the things that I put on the back burner. I did all types of projects around the house, played the piano, learned how to scrimshaw. I made kombucha, hard cider, like all types of things. I also reconnected with some of my friends who I hadn't spoken to in a long time, because usually here the biggest thing is the time difference, and then usually on the weekends I'm traveling. So now that I wasn't traveling, it's a perfect time for me to reconnect with some people that I lost touch with. Because I mean, if you live overseas for some time, you keep in touch with some people, but after a while, those relationships start to fizzle. So it was just good to get in contact with some of those friends again.
Yeah. All right, Carlos, let's take us through like kind of your final thoughts, your final words on any kind of advice or wisdom that you want to share for our viewers out there.
Keep busy. Doesn't matter if you're at home, just try to get into some project that will make you happy. I think that was the biggest thing for me. And like Ben said, actually reconnecting with some friends. Yeah, we were doing like quizzes. I reconnected with some friends from childhood back home. We used to have a massive call on Facebook Messenger, lots of us, actually until quite late hours of the morning on the weekend. So that was really good. I missed that. I actually want to go to Portugal even more because of that now. But I think keeping in touch with your close ones, family, friends, and rekindle again, definitely helped me. So I would say if you're still stuck and struggling with adjust to this life, try to with the technology we got today, try to do something that is kind of normal, which is reconnect with these people.
I think pushing through, staying connected with people, like calling your mother, calling your parents, making sure that other people, if you're feeling this way, how everyone is, and so to reach out to other people and picking up the phone and calling those people, especially people who are quarantined alone. There are a number of students, a number of single people, and other elderly who are alone. And like in Philadelphia, there's been people who have not really been seeing people for 4 months now, and so reaching out to people. So I want to encourage people to do that, reach out to people. I think it's really important. Ben,
one quick advice before we wrap it up?
Just sum it up. You kind of said it before. Just focus on what you can control. Let go of the rest, and I think it'll put you in a better place.
All right, guys. I think there's not much I could add other than what they've already said. So keep those relationships sharp, keep those projects going on, and keep on growing. As always, this has been another Beardbrand Alliance video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Cheers. Keep on growing. Hey, I'm glad you've been watching these Alliance videos. Woo, good job. Hey, do yourself a favor. Treat yourself to a little treat and come join us. Join us at the Alliance. We would love to have you. See you soon.